They whisper about her. They wonder how she survives alone. She walks alone, but her silence shakes the room. Because a woman with no friends, she's not broken, she's just finally free. And trust me, when a woman learns to stand alone, she becomes the kind of force no one dares to mess with. Not because she doesn't need people, but because she discovered she never needed approval. Loneliness is something the world often misunderstands. When a woman sits alone, people assume she's broken. When she walks into a cafe alone, they whisper. When she spends weekends by herself, they feel sorry for her. But what they don't see is that loneliness isn't always suffering. It can be rebirth. A sacred time where everything that was fake, forced, and fragile burns away. And all that remains is a woman who finally meets herself. There's a kind of transformation that happens in the silence of loneliness. It's not loud. It's not visible to the world. But it's powerful. Because when no one is around to tell you who to be, what to say, or how to act, you start to become your most authentic self. And that woman, she's unstoppable. Imagine this, a woman who's been surrounded by people her whole life, family, friends, co-workers. But none of them truly understood her. She smiled in rooms where she wanted to cry. She agreed just to avoid conflict. She laughed at jokes that broke her soul. And one day, she woke up and realized she was surrounded, but empty. That's the loneliest place to be, lonely in the middle of a crowd. So she stepped away. Not because she hated anyone, but because she finally loved herself enough to walk alone. And that's where the rebirth begins. Think of a caterpillar. It doesn't transform into a butterfly in a crowd. It goes into a dark cocoon, alone, hidden, isolated, and in that stillness something beautiful happens. The same is true for a woman who embraces her solitude. She doesn't just sit there, she heals, she grows. She unlearns everything the world told her she should be. She rewrites her identity. That kind of growth cannot happen when you're constantly surrounded by noise and people who want to keep you small. Here's a truth most people won't say out loud. Being alone will scare you before it empowers you. It will feel uncomfortable. You'll question everything, your worth, your past, your decisions. But it's in that questioning where the power lies. When there's no one left to point fingers at, you finally take responsibility for your own healing. That's the beginning of rebirth. Take the example of a woman who just came out of a toxic friendship or relationship. For years, she gave and gave and gave until there was nothing left. When that person walked away, she felt like her world collapsed. But what really collapsed was the illusion that she needed someone else to complete her. And in the ruins of that illusion, she started rebuilding herself brick by brick. She picked up hobbies she abandoned. She listened to music that once made her dance. She lit candles, journaled, cried, laughed, slept peacefully. No more pretending. No more performance. Just her and her healing. And let's be clear, loneliness isn't always peaceful at first. Sometimes it looks like a woman scrolling through her phone just to feel connected. Or sitting in silence with tears she can't explain. But each time she chooses not to go back to the people who hurt her, that's strength. Each time she says, no, I'll wait for real love. I'll wait for honest friendships. That's growth. You see, a woman reborn through loneliness doesn't just walk back into the world the same. She walks in with clarity, with fire, with standards. She won't laugh at what she used to tolerate. She won't settle for being half loved. She's seen too much in the quiet to ever be fooled by noise again. Loneliness stripped her, but rebirth dressed her in something divine, self-worth, self-trust, and self-love. There's a moment in every strong woman's life when she realizes that not everyone who smiles at her is her friend, and not everyone who stays close has good intentions. As her awareness sharpens, so do her standards. And with that shift, something else starts to happen. Her circle begins to shrink. Not because she's bitter, not because she's difficult, but because her growth no longer entertains what once amused her. And that's not arrogance. That's evolution. She used to have people around her all the time, group chats, late night calls, birthday brunches filled with laughter. But slowly, the laughter started feeling hollow. The conversations became repetitive. And when she stopped showing up just to please others, the calls stopped coming. At first, it feels like rejection. But in truth, it's revelation, a filter the universe applies the moment a woman decides, I want real, not convenient, not conditional, not temporary, real. She no longer finds joy in gossip. She doesn't want to hear about who or what or who's dating who. She wants depth. Conversations about dreams, healing, purpose. She wants people who don't compete with her but clap for her, who don't pretend but protect. And as her standards rise, the invitations decrease. The fake friends back away. The manipulators get uncomfortable. And she realizes they were never for her. They were just around her. Think about this. A woman decides she's done with tolerating friends who only show up when they need something. She stops chasing. Stops texting first. Stops offering pieces of herself just to stay connected. And suddenly it's quiet. Her phone doesn't buzz like it used to. Her weekends get quieter. But her peace, it starts to grow louder. Because now she's no longer drained after every conversation. She's no longer questioning her worth based on who responds and who doesn't. That kind of freedom costs. And the price is people. In another example, she's at work, surrounded by colleagues who smile in her face but throw darts behind her back. She used to shrink herself to blend in, laugh at jokes that weren't funny, downplay her intelligence just to be accepted. But not anymore. She starts speaking up in meetings. She takes credit for her ideas. She holds her ground. And one by one, the fake smiles fade. The invitations to lunch vanish. They call her too much, too serious, too ambitious. But what they really mean is, she won't play small anymore. Raising your standards doesn't make you difficult. It makes you deliberate. Deliberate about what energy you allow. Deliberate about how you're treated. Deliberate about who gets access to your sacred space. And once you get a taste of that kind of power, you'll never beg for attention again. A woman with rising standards is a threat to those who only knew her when she tolerated nonsense. She no longer laughs to fit in. She doesn't keep quiet to avoid conflict. She's not afraid of solitude if it means preserving her sanity. And that alone, that kind of presence terrifies those who relied on her insecurities to feel superior. There's a deep beauty in realizing that your value isn't measured by how many people surround you, but by how aligned those people are with your soul. She'd rather have one genuine friend who uplifts her than 10 fake ones who clap when she's down. She's not interested in being liked by everyone. She's focused on being respected by herself. So yes, her circle shrinks, but her life expands. Her standards become the filter through which everything passes. Friends, relationships, opportunities, if it doesn't bring peace, growth, or authenticity, it's not welcome. And she makes no apologies for that, because now she knows the fewer the distractions, the greater the direction. There's something undeniably powerful about a woman who chooses silence over noise. In a world that teaches women to over-explain, to apologize for their emotions, to defend their decisions, and to speak just to fill uncomfortable gaps. She chooses stillness, not because she's weak, not because she has nothing to say, but because she understands that silence speaks louder than chaos ever could. That silence is not the absence of strength, but the presence of control. She used to respond to everything. Every insult, every betrayal, every whisper behind her back. She tried to fix what was broken. Explain herself to people who were committed to misunderstanding her. Prove her worth in rooms where she was never meant to belong. But that version of her is gone. Now she lets people talk. Let them assume. Let them spin stories in their heads, because her silence isn't permission. It's power. Like Cinderella did, there's a certain grace in watching someone fall silent when they're expected to erupt. That woman doesn't need to scream to be heard. She doesn't need to post her pain online or beg someone to stay. Her silence carries weight. It's her way of saying, I've mastered myself. I don't need to entertain drama to validate my emotions. And that kind of control, it scares people who rely on reactions to feed their ego. Imagine this thing, a woman in a toxic relationship, the kind where every fight ends with blame. Every conversation turns into manipulation. And for years, she fought back. She cried, yelled, argued, begged. But one day she stops. Not because she gave up, but because she woke up, he shouts. She doesn't flinch, he accuses. She walks away, and he waits for a reaction. She gives none. And suddenly he realizes she's no longer playing the game. That silence, it hits harder than any argument ever could. Or think of her in the workplace. She's overlooked, underestimated, talked over in meetings. Before, she tried to speak louder, push harder, compete for space. Now, she lets her work do the talking. She delivers results. She levels up. She gets promoted. Not because she was the loudest voice in the room, but because she was the calmest storm. She didn't need to announce her greatness, she became undeniable. Silence is also how she heals. After betrayal, after heartbreak, after disappointment, she doesn't rant. She doesn't seek revenge. She doesn't tell the world what she's been through. She reflects. She rebuilds. While others are busy performing pain for attention, she's using her silence as a cocoon, turning wounds into wisdom. Her peace, her protest. Her stillness is a survival. Her quiet is her comeback. And it's not just about not talking. It's about what happens in that quiet. In her silence, she listens to herself. She learns her own patterns. She observes the energy around her. She sees people's intentions without needing them to explain. She moves differently. Not emotionally, but strategically. While they think she's ignoring them, she's just choosing herself. And while they mock her quiet, they don't realize she's watching everything. There's a famous saying, "A lion doesn't have to tell you it's a lion." And that's her. She doesn't roar to prove who she is. She knows her value isn't in her volume, but in her presence. When she walks into a room, her energy speaks first. Her silence creates curiosity. People wonder what she's thinking, how she feels, what she knows. Like Cinderella did, because a woman who can stay silent in a world that demands constant noise, that's rare. That's a woman who has learned to be heard without raising her voice. She used to chase love, chase friendships, chase attention. She used to believe that if she gave more, showed up more, bent more, and loved louder, people would stay. But all that chasing left her breathless, not better. It drained her spirit, not because she wasn't enough, but because she was trying to prove her worth in places that never deserved her presence in the first place. Now she doesn't chase. She attracts. She's no longer running after anything that requires her to lose herself to gain approval. There's a quiet kind of confidence in a woman who stopped pursuing what isn't pursuing her. She walks with a different energy. She's not desperate for love. She's full of it. She's not begging to be seen. She sees herself. And when a woman steps into this level of wholeness, the entire energy around her shifts. People notice, opportunities gravitate, and connections deepen, not because she forced them, but because she created space for only what's real. Take the example of a woman who used to text first every time. She always planned the outings, remember the birthdays, fixed the misunderstandings. She thought that being available meant being valued. But one day she decided, no more. She stopped texting those who never checked in. Stopped chasing friends who only called when they needed something. And something magical happened. Her phone went quiet, but her peace got louder. Suddenly, the ones who took her for granted started to feel her absence. Not because she wanted revenge, but because she finally gave herself back the time and energy she was always pouring into others. Think of her in a relationship. She used to overthink every message, analyze every word, show up perfect, pleasing, just to be chosen. But the moment she realized that the love she was begging for was the love she needed to give herself, everything changed. She didn't beg him to stay. She didn't fight for minimum. He became the woman who says, if you can't see my value, that's your loss, not my flaw. And from that moment forward, she didn't chase love. She became love. Even in her career, her energy shifted. She no longer begged to be hired. She built her skills, mastered her craft, and walked into interviews with power, not needness. She stopped people pleasing in meetings. She no longer tried to blend in or follow every trend. And you know what happened? The right clients, the right projects, the right mentors. They started finding her. Because attraction is magnetic when it's rooted in authenticity. There's something unshakable about a woman who knows her worth. She doesn't need to prove anything. Like Cinderella did, she doesn't need to post every move, announce every win, or explain every boundary. She knows she's the prize. And the ones meant for her will recognize that without needing to be convinced. You can't fake this kind of energy. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about being centered. It's about knowing that what flows into your life effortlessly is what belongs. And what leaves, that's just the universe clearing space for better. She walks into rooms and doesn't scan for who to impress. She owns her space. She's not intimidated by beauty or success around her. She celebrates it because she's secure enough in her own. And this security, it's attractive. Not in the loud, look at me kind of way, but in the silent, I don't need to chase you to keep you kind of way. She doesn't chase validation. She don't chase closure. She doesn't chase energy that feels unsure. She simply exists in her truth. And from that, everything that aligns finds its way to her naturally. Not because she ran after it, but because she made herself so whole, everything else became a bonus. Rejection used to break her. It used to leave her crying in rooms no one knew she sat in. It made her question her worth, doubt her beauty, and silence her voice. She used to take every no personally. Every closed door felt like a failure. Every unanswered call felt like she didn't matter. But now she sees it differently. Rejection was never a wall, it was a mirror. A brutal, honest mirror showing her the places where she needed to grow, to walk away, to rise higher. She doesn't fear rejection anymore. She thanks it. Because every time someone rejected her, life redirected her to something better. There was a time she thought being left out meant being unworthy. In friendships, she tried to fit in, to belong. She adjusted her personality, changed her tone, dressed differently, laughed at jokes that weren't funny, just to feel accepted, but they still pushed her away, made plans without her, ignored her kindness. And she cried, wondering what more she could have done. But what she didn't know then was that rejection was removing her from people who only loved the version of her that played small. The real her, the bold, loud, passionate her was too much for their insecurities. So the universe removed them to make space for the tribe that would celebrate her, not suppress her. Think of the job she didn't get. She prepared, she interpreted, she believed it was her breakthrough. But the call never came. And for weeks, she felt stuck, like the world was moving and she was frozen in place. But during that quiet time, something inside her sparked. She started her own thing. A blog, a side hustle, a creative project. And what started as a heartbreak turned into her own business. She became her own boss, built her own brand. And now, when she looks back, she says, thank God they said no. If they had said yes, I would have never said yes to myself. Even in love, she knows what rejection means now. The one she gave everything to, the one she thought she would build forever with, walked away. No warning, no closure, just silence. And she blamed herself, wondered if she was too emotional, too ambitious, too real. But in time, she saw that his rejection wasn't about her not being enough. It was about him not being ready. Her love was too whole for someone still broken. And when he left, she didn't just lose a man. She found herself. She traveled, she healed, she glowed. And now, her heart is no longer available for half-loves and part-time people. Rejection taught her that she was never hard to love. She was just loving the wrong ones. Even socially, she faced rooms that didn't welcome her. Places where her intelligence was underestimated. Where her ideas were dismissed. But instead of shrinking, she sharpened. She studied more, worked harder, showed up better. And one day, the same rooms that ignored her had no choice but to listen. Rejection lit a fire in her that validation never could. It made her fierce, focused, unapologetically excellent. She knows now that every rejection is not a dead end. It's divine protection. It's life whispering, not here, not now, not them. It's not the universe being cruel. It's the universe being kind enough to not let her settle. Because what's meant for her won't require her to beg, chase, or break herself to keep it. She walks differently now. Every time life tells her no, she doesn't panic. She pauses. She listens. She watches for the redirection. Because if one door closes, it only means the hallway she's in is shifting. And what's waiting at the next turn? It's bigger, bolder, and built for the woman she's becoming, not the one she used to be. Like Cinderella did. There comes a time in a woman's life when she stops opening the door for every knock. She stops handing out pieces of her soul to people who only want to borrow her energy, but never pour anything back into her. She stops feeling guilty for saying no. Because now, she finally understands not everyone deserves access to her life. Her space, her peace, her presence, they are no longer free. They must be earned, not expected. Because access is a privilege, not a right. She used to welcome everyone. The fake friends who only came around when they needed something. The relationships that only wanted her body but not her mind. The conversations that left her drained instead of empowered. She made room for everyone, believing that kindness meant access, that being nice meant being available. But all it did was leave her empty, exhausted, and taken for granted until she realized, just because someone shows up doesn't mean they should stay. She started building boundaries. Not walls, boundaries. She stopped explaining her decisions to people who never respected them. She stopped making excuses for people's bad behavior just to keep them around. She stopped feeling the need to respond to every message, attend every gathering, or fix every broken